What's up, everybody? It's Julian. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make classic house music. None of this tech house stuff, none of this new age, whatever. We're going to be talking about the old stuff, how to do it, how they did it back in the day, and how you can approximate that in the DAW without having to have all that analog gear and without all the difficulty that they had to make tracks back in the day. To go along this video, you can get the full template at the top of the description on my website. Definitely make sure to go grab that, guys. It's the best thing you can do today to make the best track you've ever made in your life. I promise there's not many things you can do right now to make better music. If you grab this template, you really will. I've seen it happen before, and it can happen for you as well. Thanks so much for the support, everybody, and let's get started. Alright, here we are. So we're at 123 BPM. First thing we got going on up here is a nice fat 909 kick. Now, to keep it true to the old school, I've gone for a kick here without a lot of processing. All there is just a little subcut, which I believe they were doing back in the day. So that's not really cheating. Like, that's been going on since the beginning of time. Again, you just want this fat 909 kick that's already coming out of the drum machine, sounding really good. You're not having to put a whole bunch of saturation. There's no multi-band distortion, anything like that. You know, just keeping it simple, something that's just foundationally solid. I think that's the key with a lot of this old music is that they didn't have, you know, multi-band distortion and all these kinds of things and all the over-compression. They just had to use things that were good on a foundational level, and that's how they made all that crazy music. So from there, we go and we have this little organ. So we're in the key of A minor, and what we're doing here is we're doing a bunch of, like, this is an A minor 7 chord, right? We get the A minor, and then we have the minor 7th on top, G, and then we're going down here. It's all just stuff, which is also, this is an A minor chord as well. We're just using that kind of chord shape and a bit of groove. Like, you can really hear it. If I play it kind of with the bass line, you can hear how this fits in. Right, so you can see, you really have to have that bass line first, but this is just bouncing off of what that's doing, using that A minor chord, and then just notes inside of that scale to create a nice kind of melodic sort of chord pattern. Now, for the actual sound, this is literally just the sine wave in operator. Right, this is really a case where it's like musically, it's just really cool, so you don't need a whole lot of extra stuff. So yeah, from there we just got a little bit of delay, a little bit of reverb, and then a high pass filter. Then we got this little house organ. So this is playing the bass line. It's very simple. It's actually very simple bass line. It's just A minor, C major, E minor, F major, right? Root note, 3rd, 5th, 6th. It's like a lot of call and response. We're going call, response, but then it's also call, response. You see what I'm saying there? And again, just like I was saying before, you know, not a lot of over processing on the sounds. This is literally just this organ. I'm high passing it, and that's it. Then we have the bass. Same MIDI as before. All this is doing is we got a saw wave, and then we have a square wave, an octave up from where the saw wave was, but the square wave is pretty quiet. We got a low pass filter with a nice punchy envelope. We're just cutting the sub, and that's it. You know, the basses back then weren't these like big, insane, like floor shaking monsters. It was just kind of like it grooves with the kick. And there we go. There's not a lot of side chaining. You know, they weren't really doing that just yet. You don't need all that to make a good groove. Then we have these strings. So yeah, this is, maybe if I turn off the high pass, you can hear it a little more. Right, this is just kind of like this melodic pattern. We're just using notes from that A minor scale. So if you look at this, like, okay, 3rd, root, 5th, another 5th up here, 7th, root. So we're just using all those notes from the scale. This is a 9th right? And then just kind of creating this little extra melodic thing that'll sit with the bass and that organ. Right? You can hear that sits really nicely over top of that. So the way I made this is actually using wavetable to kind of create like some strings, right? We're using this transformations wavetable and this ring mod. I've got the filters like that with a bit of things moving around, like the amp envelope and the LFO on the wavetable position as well as on the filters. You know, just a bit of movements, some classic unison, some reverb, and then we're high passing it a lot because you don't want this to clash. And again, that is something they were doing back in the day. Like, there's plenty of high passing, there's plenty of mixing in that sense. It's just, since you can't really like sidechain and all that kind of stuff, you want to keep it, you know, a bit cleaner. So this is another one. We just had this piano. It's literally just a sample with a little bit of delay on it. And then it's just playing this inside of this A minor scale. Kind of following what the bass line's doing. And you see how this groove is starting to be created between all these different elements by doing this. So then we got our drums. So again, just a lot of 909 sounds. This is like a layered clap. And then, you know, some background grooves as well. Right, you can hear. And then we do have one live loop. You know, like some live bongos and stuff like that, just to give it a little bit more energy. They did have a bit of that back in the day. It just wasn't like 20 of them like a modern tech house track, right? And there we are. So there we are. That's how you do it. You can see it's not that hard, and it's not that hard to really get an authentic sound in the DAW either. I think you just need to imagine how they were doing it back in the day and do that inside the DAW. It's as simple as that. So yeah, that's going to be it for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed. As always, make sure to like this video as well as subscribe. And let me know what you think of this video in the comments. Like I said in the beginning, you can get that full template that you just saw at the top of the description on my website. Make sure to go grab that. It's the best way to make your best track today, immediately. Thanks so much for the support, everybody, and I'll see you tomorrow with another video.